let's get right into it. What are thoughts? So I think your thoughts keep you stuck, but we have to kind of talk about what thoughts are. And this is a tough question, but we'll just kind of go general here. To me, thoughts are basically words and images that are in your brain. So that could be memories, that could be beliefs, that could be reasoning. So I guess it's words, but also mental functions like reasoning. I don't really think that we control what's in our mind a lot. Basically, I honestly don't think we have much control over what pops into or out of our mind. It feels like we do, but I don't really know if we do. So, things just kind of pop in without us directing it. So, for example, 2 + 2 equals. There's a good chance the number 4 popped into your mind. Either the image of it or even the sound 4. If you didn't choose to do that, your brain just kind of populates that on its own, right? I think that's a key piece, though, of what thoughts are, which are these, words or images or sounds that kind of pop in and out of our mind without our conscious direction of it. So where do thoughts come from? Well, the flavor of your thoughts comes from your state. You probably are aware of the concept of story follows state. This is from Deb Dana. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back to episode 101 and learn about the polyvagal theory. So episode 101 through 109, there's hours and hours of polyvagal theory fundamentals. But if you don't have the time for that and don't want to listen to ads, go to Polyvagal 101 on justinlmft.com. All the information is condensed into about 2 hours of exclusive video from me. There's some quizzes there to test your knowledge as well, but all the polyvagal information and how it connects to what trauma is on justinlmft.com. And the course is called Polyvagal 101. It's a really good starting point to learning about polyvagal information. And then, come back to the podcast, and there's we apply these concepts in a lot of different ways. So where do thoughts come from? Well, they come from your polyvagal state. At least the flavor of your thoughts comes from your polyvagal state. We say story follows state, but that's not the full picture. That's definitely a big piece of it. But the flavor of your thoughts, the intensity of your thoughts comes from your polyvagal state. I want to kind of refine that a little bit further. So if you're in a fight state, the flavor of your thoughts is going to be more aggressive. It's going to be blaming. That doesn't necessarily dictate the exact story that comes out, but the flavor. Now, the story of it, the theme of your thoughts, that's going to come from other things like culture, family, social norms, religious views. These kinds of things are going to dictate the theme of your thought. And a lot of it's going to be, what your family in particular passes on to you. So these different themes come from, like I said, culture, family, social norms, religious views, these kinds of things. These sources tell you how the world is. They tell you how your family is. They tell you how you are. And they can be extremely, extremely limiting. Like social norms for your gender and what is allowed to be accomplished or what is even allowed to be felt. These can be extremely limiting and can help keep you stuck. So for me in particular, one of the themes for my family growing up, and probably still now actually, one of the themes was that we have less. We have less than others. This doesn't necessarily need to be true, but this was a belief that we had and that was passed on to me and my siblings, that we just have less, and that's kind of how it is. And that was something that stuck with me. Even still now, I think that theme is still with me. This is not necessarily a hard and fast truth of life, but it is a limiting belief, a theme that was passed on to me. And the flavor of that, what that sounds like, is different based on what state that I'm in. But the theme is still there of having less, of never being able to achieve as much as somebody else, or financially at least. So these themes can be connected to polyvagal states, defensive or even the safety state. These themes can be connected to polyvagal states. So if I'm in a shutdown state, and it's true that others have more than my family and I, then there's no point in trying. And that's very much a shutdown kind of story, or flavor of a story, is there's just no point. It's empty. It's lacking motivation. There's no energy in it. But if I'm in a fight state, that theme can sound different from the fight state. So it might be more around jealousy or resentment, like, well, they didn't earn it, or it was given to them, and how dare they, or whatever, I don't know. But they didn't earn it. It was given to them. That could easily be like a fight state with the same theme. So the thought is different. The flavor of the thought's different, but the theme is still there. And the theme reinforces how much, for me in particular, how much I can achieve financially in the world. So you can see that the theme of, I guess that was passed on to me, how that can be a very limiting sort of belief. And depending on what state I'm in, that the belief or the theme can sound different, but it's still acting and it's still a limiting belief that would help to keep me stuck in, wherever I'm at in life. And that could also be stuck as far as my potential to climb my polyvagal ladder. And it's not just me, but anybody here. These themes or these beliefs that are given to us can absolutely keep us down our polyvagal ladder and limit the potential to climb up it and experience more energy, more motivation, more success, more happiness, more connection. Because if the world is a certain way and there's nothing we can do to change that, the potential to climb our ladders and have different experiences is probably going to be lower, right? And so it is different from the safety state, though. From a safety state, there's more of a potential to connect with others. So if we come to the theme of what can be accomplished in life from the safety state, we may be more willing and able to connect and collaborate with others to build something together, rather than trying to take other people down and build ourselves up, or at least, I guess, be resentful of others and what they have. So if you're in the safety state, I think there's more potential, or I'm arguing there's more potential to get unstuck, to try new things, to connect with others, to build a network, or whatever that looks like for you. If you're in a safety state and you can climb your polyvagal ladder, you have more potential. Like I said before, though, I do have my course Polyvagal 101 on my website, which is, I think, good for anybody that's just looking to understand what the heck the polyvagal theory is and how it connects to trauma in particular. I also have another course which is specifically for self-development, and not for professionals, not for clients of therapy. I mean, it's for anybody really who's just looking to kind of self-develop. But it's really about identifying safety, discovering what brings you to safety, and then increasing your capacity to stay in your own safety state. And if you can get there, then the potential to change your thoughts, to look at these themes of your life and come at it from a different way, I mean, it really changes. It really expands. I guess that's the right word for it. There's really more of expansion of capabilities or possibilities from your safety state. And building safety anchors is all about building safety.